What's up, everybody? All right, today's gonna be my chest day. Before I get in there and hammer out another workout, I'm gonna touch on a subject here, and it's sensitive, and I've touched on it before.
Steroids.
I've had a couple people actually ask me to make a video talking about them, pros and the cons, things like that. And listen, all this is going to be based on my experience, my education level, my training, okay? So I don't expect you to agree with me just because I'm telling you this. Study it for yourself, all right? But here's the kicker. It's kind of hard to study some of this for yourself without actually experiencing it for yourself. And some of you people are just not going to be willing to do that. And I completely get that. And some of you don't need to do it, all right? You just don't need it. And I get that too. And that's fine. So where to begin? Here we go with the terminology. Natty, not natty. What defines natty? What makes you not a natty? Does it really matter? Should it matter? Is it any of your business what other people do? The bane of contention on the subject sort of seems to come from this train of thought, this line of thought. People who are on steroids, not telling anybody that they're on steroids and claiming that they're natural, okay? And that makes everybody that's not on steroids and working their ass off kind of pissed off, and I can understand that. Nobody likes a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? Nobody. Not even other hypocrites. A person that's well known to be a liar will be the first miserable son of a bitch to call out the next liar. It's just the nature of man. To sort of get into the heart of the subject, are steroids wrong? Are they okay? Well, this is my opinion. Do what you want to do. I think steroids are fine. I really do. I think a person is free to do what they want to do, when they want to do it, as long as it doesn't affect someone else, as long as it doesn't infringe on the freedoms of other people. I'm thinking of all these things on a higher level here than just what goes on in the gym. I can hear people now, no, steroids should be illegal because all the cheating that you're gonna have in professional athletics. Kind of got that already, don't we? At least if it was legal, it could be kind of regulated. Now it's just sort of every person for themselves, and you know they're using it. Hell, everybody knows they're using it. And I can hear some purists say, well, that don't make it right. That's a fair enough point. It don't make it right. But this is sort of where my mind is on it. Some people need it for their health. When I edit videos, it gives me the opportunity to kind of see where I dropped the ball or forgot to mention something. And sometimes the subject's just not so important that I go back. But because the subject is important, I want to mention some of the benefits of testosterone and some of the cons, all right, with a little more detail. Basically, what testosterone does, steroids, whatever, they increase protein synthesis within the cell. You get bigger muscles, all right? They really help put your nutrition to better use, okay? Obviously, you get more endurance, you get stronger, your bones get denser, you get more of an overall feeling of well-being. Obviously, it pretty much makes you better at every physical activity that you do. I mean, it does. That's why people use it, okay? It's especially good for people that have had cancer and other degenerative diseases. It will allow these people to put on more muscle mass. It's really beneficial. We really need to get rid of the stigma. However, on the other hand, and listen, when I was reading all this and studying on this before I made the video, the caveat to the cons are this. The downside of testosterone only manifests itself, according to what I read, if you abuse it. If you stop using it in moderation. Now, moderation is going to be different for each individual. And some people are going to lose at that game, but most people are going to win at that game. Use your head. Find out how your body reacts to it. Some of the cons are an increase in heart disease if you abuse it, liver and kidney damage. These are usually for the oral steroids, all right? An injectable steroid usually doesn't affect your body that way. And of course, you could get sleep apnea, You could be overly aggressive, acne, you could lose your hair, so on and so forth. But again, these side effects only manifest themselves if you are taking too much. And there is a ton of wiggle room in the middle for it to help you live a better life. Okay? And I'm talking about just as far as testosterone replacement treatments. I'm not talking about using it in competitions and stuff like that. Yes, I'm covering that in this video, but this particular clip, I'm more or less just talking about testosterone replacement treatments and the benefits and some of the cons of testosterone. Some people would rather die unhealthy just to say that they lift natural than they would take testosterone treatments, get very healthy, and be able to lose that street cred of being natural. You're just cutting off your nose to spite your face in that situation. Listen, if you're a young person and your testosterone is already through the roof, you don't need it. But if you're getting on up into it in your mid-30s and on up, especially nowadays with the shit they feed us, you need to look at these studies, by the way. There's a study out there that shows that like in the past 30, 40 years, the level of testosterone in men have dropped considerably and is doing so every so often, every so many years. Okay? Now, I can't remember the name of the study, but it's out there. Go find it. Back before I started on TRT treatments, let's say 5-6 years ago, when I really first started getting high up in my numbers as far as training goes, when I started really power training, for lack of a better term, you know, I got up into the 300s on my bench press, you know, got up into the 500 on my squats and deadlifts, stuff like that. A little bit less than where I am now. I had low testosterone. It can be done. You can get strong with low testosterone. But here's a caveat, and this has been my observation and my personal experience. You have to have a pretty large amount of body fat. You have to have a large excess of body fat in order to accomplish that. And I did at the time. I see people train around me and they'll have low testosterone and they'll be strong, but they'll also be pretty fat too. And I'm not trying to be ugly. It's not like it's a secret. It's not like I just disillusioned anyone. You know, if you're fat, you know you're fat. But you're also strong, so that's good. This was back in a time when I was around 260, 265, and my deadlift was around 500, 515. I was pretty much as strong as I am now, except my body fat level was really high. Let me explain. This is me at 260, 265, right here. All right? I don't know what my body fat percentage is. I really don't give a shit. And I'm deadlifting around 530, squatting around 530, okay? Here is me at 260 or 265 with roughly the same numbers, a little bit weaker. Can you see a difference in the body composition? I sure can. This is on TRT treatment, on the very high end of TRT treatment. All right, I don't mind telling you that. If you're gonna take testosterone, why stay around the very low bottom of it? That egg's already been cracked. You're in the process of making an omelet, baby. You might as well go on up to the high level if you're gonna do it. Might as well. Some people are going to disagree with that point. They're going to say, oh, no, a happy medium is fine. Well, to me, this is a happy medium. The high end is a happy medium in the scheme of things, and I'll explain that too. At this particular time, I have no outward side effects of using too much testosterone. I have zero acne, zero nipple sensitivity. They tell me that's a thing. I'm not overly aggressive, you know. I will tell you what I am, though. I'm happy as shit. I feel great every day. Even after a hard workout and you wake up and you're real sore, I still am in a good nature. And anybody that knows me out there knows I pretty much stay just like this all the time. And I might get down about certain things just like anybody else, but as I was saying, it hasn't done anything but make me happier and stronger. Now, I can hear some people saying this, yeah, but what about what's going on the insides? I had labs done 4 weeks ago. They're fine. They're absolutely fine. My cholesterol was a little high, but my cholesterol's always been a little high. I eat a lot of meat, of course it's going to be high. And there's studies out there that are saying that all that stuff they were saying about cholesterol in the past was pretty much bullshit to begin with. But that's another video for another time. You can go check that out too. All right, back to my perch. Listen, I'm gonna make something clear. At no point in this video am I suggesting anyone take steroids, okay? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that as some kind of disclaimer so the lawyers won't get me. You know, I'm not big enough for that mess. But I am telling you this. Knowledge is power. Educate yourself. All right, so I said we're going to talk about hypocrisy and prejudice. We're going to talk about that. Now, some people get so hung up on the word natural that they get downright angry about it when you start bumping up against their little theories. You start questioning them. Listen, if you stand on a principle and you get pissed off every time somebody nudges up against it, you're not very confident in that principle. I promise you. I can't remember who said this, but it was somebody famous. The angrier you get while having a debate, trying to defend your subject, is a clear reflection in just how confident you are in your own argument. Right? If you know what you're talking about, if you know the sky's blue and somebody's sitting there constantly telling you, no, it's not blue, it's green or whatever, you're not going to get mad about that. You're just going to be like, wow, they're an idiot. But you're not going to get angry about it. You see what I'm saying? People will go to all these different little health stores and spend hundreds of dollars on things made in labs to boost your testosterone. And they'll take it in order to raise their testosterone levels. And yet they'll still call themselves Natty. You ever met anybody like that? Are you somebody like that? What's the difference? Well, they're legal. They're legal in a lot of different countries. Are they wrong? Are we wrong? Are they right? Are we right? Again, I think that a person should have the choice to do whatever it is they want to do with their body. Another man or a woman your age is basically sitting here telling you, has basically written a law that says, you know what, my opinion trumps your opinion, and you are going to do what I say. Why should another 45-year-old man, it doesn't matter if he's in Congress or a senator or whatever, propose a law, be able to pass a law that says what I want to do for my body is not okay because his opinion of it is different? Hear me out. I can go to the store right now and I can buy a fifth of Jack Daniels and drink that shit and get hammered drunk and kill myself with alcohol poisoning if I want to. There's no law against it. Oh, you can't drive? Well, that's a different argument. I'm not talking about that. But the act of it is completely legal. But they want to outlaw steroids? Come on. All right, now back to this point. Whew, I'm all sweaty now. I've been outside putting up a tent for my daughter and her friend. Here's another point. You'll go in there and you'll start doing heavy compound exercises to boost your testosterone. Now that is natty, but it don't work. Oh, yes it does. Squats and deadlifts have been proven to raise your testosterone. Brother, I'm gonna break the news down for you. All this stuff you're buying in the store to raise your testosterone, all the squats, all the deadlifts, they're fine. And they might actually raise your testosterone a little bit, but it's not going to be enough to matter. Sorry, there is not enough difference to make a difference. They're going to show you all these charts about how it boosts it. They're going to start out with a number here and they're going to go up to here. But I can make 0.003% look high if I space out the numbers enough. It's insignificant. It's not going to raise your testosterone levels up enough to matter. Here's the bottom line. If your testosterone is low, or if you want to boost your testosterone, the number one most effective way to do it, just inject yourself with testosterone. If you're in your 30s and you're already low, it's not going to get any better. Squats are not going to help it enough to matter. Deadlifts are not going to help it enough to matter. If you're already there, you might as well just go get on it and be done with it, because you're going to be there for the rest of your life. Unless you've got some undiscovered medical issue that they don't know about, that's holding your testosterone down, that, they can discover and go in there and fix, and it'll let it go back up again, well, fine. But you know that's not the case. Let's go get you some testosterone and use it and be sensible about it. Well, then I'm not natty. Sorry. Do you really think you're natty, popping all those testosterone boosting pills you get from Academy Sports or from GNC? Think about it. Why is that natty? How is that natty? You're taking drugs made in a lab to boost your testosterone. Why not just go get testosterone made in a lab and boost your testosterone? Why not? Now, Clomid and things like that have been shown to raise it up a little bit. So if you want to go that route, try that first. But you're going to wind up on testosterone, trust me. There's a lot of steroids out there. I'm not even going to try to name them all, but they all basically do the same thing. You know, they're either going to help you cut or they're going to help you build muscle. And really, in the way that they do that, they just help you maintain your muscle mass while you're in a caloric deficit. You know, testosterone, tren, whatever, it can help you bulk and it can help you cut. It's just really in your diet. All it does is help you maintain that muscle while you do it. You know, steroids, and here's another thing, folks. Steroids does not give you muscle. You still have to go in there and work your ass off for it. But what it does do, it will allow you to get some more reps in. It will allow you to be more intense in the gym. It can raise your aggression up. Now, just because it raises your aggression up a little bit doesn't mean that it's raising it up enough to make it an issue, to classify it as a side effect. But hey, a little aggression in the gym is great. I have found that it basically just allows me to attain levels that I could back when I was 17, 18, 19, 20 years old. You know, to really get that, rah, for lack of a better terminology. Y'all know what I'm talking about, that rah in the gym. And I know this video is not going to change everybody's mind. I get that. But if it sparks curiosity, if it sparks the desire to look into the subject and study it a little more closely, and maybe look at it with a little more of an open mind, well, that's a good thing too. But I think that I would much rather look like this, go ahead and continue my treatments, keep my body fat percentage lower, and keep my strength high, and stay in a good ass mood. I rarely get sick. I'm always ready, if you know what I mean. Much to my wife's chagrin sometimes. I can't see a downside. Now listen, when I say these things, I completely understand that you can abuse this to the point that everything I've said is null and void. You can abuse steroids to the point to where it will make you sick and kill you. You can do anything in excess. Anything. I'm talking about doing things intelligently, letting your doctor know what's going on, that way he can look out for it. Keep your labs up. And if you're in your 40s, you need to get your labs done at least twice a year anyway. At least. Because that's when wild, unexpected shit starts happening to you. You never know. I'm sure that there's something that I haven't touched on in this, but I can't make a 45-minute video. Nobody's going to watch that, if anybody watches my videos much anyway. Okay? But if you've got any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section. And don't be a douchebag to anybody. Let's keep it civil. If you really want to get into a heated discussion, then you've got private messages for that. All right, let's be respectful. I'm going to leave you with this like I always do. If you ever run across anything in life that's hard, scary, it's intimidating, makes you want to go the other way, shoot up with a bunch of steroids and run over there and whoop its ass. Just kidding. Study the situation, learn all you can about it. Come up with a plan, then go over there and whip its ass. And you might have to try 2 or 3 different times. You might have to try 4, but eventually you will overcome it. All right? Learn everything you can from that situation and move forward in life. Every time you run across something new and you beat it, you become a new creature. And that means that every time you come up on a new adversity, you take every victory you've ever had in the past with you. All that experience. Pretty soon you'll become unstoppable. And remember, never be afraid to get in the pit.